Well, hey, welcome to Getting Weird. I'm in my office currently. Um, I said I would in the last video that I wasn't going to do these very often, but I received some good advice from a friend of mine that told me to really make the best of it and make a run at it any way that I can. So I've been looking into different places to go camping for like quick overnights because, you know, as I said in the last video, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I have kids. It's very hard to get away from the kids and the wife, and I don't really want to, you know, I want to spend time with my family. So my wife has been gracious enough to, you know, take over for me for kid duties for maybe one night quick trips. So what I'm doing tonight is, well, actually, it's going to be tomorrow night. I'm getting ready today. My in-laws, who live up the road from me, they live on a bunch of property, and I was told by my mother-in-law that there was a campsite back in the woods in their property. So I took a little walk through there recently, but I couldn't find it. So the first part of this video is going to be me trying to find this campsite. And if I find it, then we're going to spend the night there. And if I don't find it, then we're going to find a place that's suitable for that. So, which means I'm going to be hiking in. It's going to be a little bit of a different, you know, I'm not going to have all my gear. I'm going minimal gear. So I'm currently working right now on packing my backpack. I have a tiny little one-man tent that is one of those things where I honestly don't even remember how I got it. It's probably one of those, like I was at a garage sale and it was $5 or $10 and I picked it up and I used it a handful of times. And I also have some hammocks that I made a long time ago. Used a couple times, and I'm going to use one of those. So other than that, I'm going to pack in a little lunchbox with some food and a beer, and we're going to go from there. So the next time you'll see me, we'll be in the woods trying to find this campsite. And I might have my daughter with me because I have this figured out where she's going to go to her grandmother's house for a sleepover, but I can't go until later in the evening. So, you know, other than that, I hope you enjoy the video. I'm going to be drinking a German smoked beer that I had recently, and looking forward to it. That should be pretty good. And, you know, we're going to plant our flag, we're going to set up camp, and we're going to get weird. So, I'm looking forward to it. Well, we are here. We are just getting into the woods now. I say we because I am joined by my partner in crime. Mary, say hi.
Hi.
You say hello.
Hello.
Watch out. So I was told to follow these trails that were made a long time ago, and I would find them by seeing these metal grates that were put across the river. So we're gonna head up this way, and I was told to look for an old tree stand. So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna keep walking and see how it goes. You think we'll find it, Bear?
Mm-hmm.
You have confidence?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me step on that before you walk over it. Found another of these metal bridges. Getting in the thick of it here. So we've been walking for probably 20 minutes or so. This place is pretty thick, pretty dense. You can see that there's a lot of sticker bushes, a lot of rocks. There's some skunk leaves. How you feeling, Bear?
Good.
You fixing your shoe?
Mm-hmm.
So I was told to look for the old tree stand. So that's what we're doing right now, but it's not easy going. Working on it though. All right, I think we're getting inching closer. But in the meantime,
I want to get on that bigger
Mare
rock.
found a cool rock to climb on. Is that a cool rock?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. We are into the thick of it, for sure, right? Into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it.
All right, so after about a half an hour of trudging through some pretty thick underbrush and some pretty crazy thorn bushes and sticker bushes and skunk grass and sticker bushes and mud and all kinds of other nasty stuff. I came across the old tree stand, which then led me to the campsite that everyone was telling me about. Marilyn's got her juice ready to go. She's hanging out. But this is apparently where former generations of my... Oh yeah? Swiper the Fox? So from what I understand, this is where they used to come and party. I'm not sure what this is, but this is a cool little spot here back in the woods. Little fire ring we're gonna get cleaned up, some extra wood right there. There's plenty of dead firewood all around. And
Did you camp here?
we're camping here tonight. Yeah, so this is the spot right now.
Dad, I'm just gonna have some sticks over the fire.
That's a good idea. Hey, so obviously I'm in the car. Quick update on what's happened in like the last hour. So Mare and I, we set everything up, and you know, she's 4, so she was playing and everything and having a good time, and I was pretty much prepared for everything. And then Mare goes, "Dad, I gotta poop." I wasn't prepared for a poop, so I had the plan anyway that we were gonna take Mary to my mom's house for the night, and we were gonna do that at about 6:30ish or so. And Mare tells me she has to poop, so we made a beeline out of the woods and got to her grandmother's house, where she proceeded to poop, and all worked out. So then I ended up taking her over to her other grandmother, my mother, her house for the evening. So I am currently on my way back to go into the woods. It is roughly 6 o'clock. I have about 2 hours of usable sunlight, and the next time that you see me, I will be back at the site. So yeah, be back. So do you guys want to know how dumb I am? So you watched the first part of this video, right, where I'm trudging through mud and rocks and sticker bushes and all kinds of crap to get in there for 25 minutes with a 4-year-old. And we get out of there. I go do what I do, what I updated you about. And I get back to the house here, and my father-in-law goes, "Why don't you just take the trail?" Turns out there's a pretty well-beaten trail that leads to almost exactly where I'm going. So now I know, but everything's a learning experience, and my father-in-law never fails to teach me something new and make me feel dumb. So we're good to go on that. All right. Well, I'm back here at the site, and I got a little fire going, so I figured I'd give the tour, you know? So this site, from what I understand, the legend is that this site was used as like a party spot by my mother-in-law when she was younger. Her family has lived at this house since I think the late 70s or early 80s. So I'm not really quite sure what this like rope thing is, but I'll have to ask when I get back. But you know, let's give the tour here. These are my surroundings. I'm pretty deep in the woods. I've planted my flag, as always. This is the tent I'm using. This is a one-man tent. It's by Alpine Design. It's a Solitude 1. And it's a light backpacking tent. And like I said in the first video that I made for my garage, that I honestly don't even know how I acquired this one. So it's probably a garage sale find of some kind. But it's good. I've used it about 4 or 5 times. And it's pretty tight in there. But now this I brought because I had nowhere to sit. And back in the mid-aughts, 05, 06, I was really into ultralight backpacking, and I really wanted a hammock, and they were all super expensive, so I made my own. I went to Walmart, got some fabric, and I had reams of 550 cord, and you tie a knot at both ends, and you can sit in here. So I'm looking forward to relaxing in there for now. But other than that, that's it for now. I'll probably crack a beer here in a little while and start to hang out. So, all right. So the one thing that my mother-in-law warned me about was they've had a lot of coyote, a lot of run-ins with coyote recently around here, and told me that I should bring minimal food, which is what I did. Whatever food I brought, I'm gonna eat or burn, and that I should pick up something to protect myself. I'm not a gun guy. I don't own any guns. So I went to Walmart today and I picked up two things. I was looking for bear mace, but they don't sell that at my local Walmart. So I got some regular old pepper spray that I'll keep in the tent with me. And that's kind of like a last resort, because if I hit this in that tent, both me and that coyote are getting messed up. And it'll probably be an early end to my evening. So I got this, and then as another deterrent, I got this little air horn. So I'll go ahead and test it now. I tested it in my house earlier, and the air pressure changed in my kitchen. It was so loud and it hurt. So we'll just go ahead and, yeah. I think that's gonna work. So I learned a long time ago that when you pack light on these types of trips, you kind of use what you have. And I was trying to figure out a way to cook some food. I brought a couple of hot dogs. Like I said, there's a coyote issue, and I have to straight eat what I cook, or cook what I eat. You know what I mean? And I have to get rid of it, eat it all or burn it. So I found a shovel, and I'm cooking some hot dogs on an old shovel that I pulled out of the woods. So, and also I brought this with me. This is a beer that I recently had at a party in New York City for a podcast that I help out, and a guy bought a couple of these. Thank you, Scott Watson. And I managed to find a couple bottles. So this stuff smells and tastes exactly like a campfire. So I couldn't think of anything more appropriate to drink while I'm out here. I tend to like cheap beers, old man beers. Like my favorite is Busch Light. So, but I had to find this and I had to buy it. So. Oh man, that is fantastic. Like fantastic. So it's time to eat, and then we're gonna hang out. You know, I work with a lot of people that don't understand camping or understand why I want to come out in the middle of the woods by myself and sleep out here. And I just settled back into my hammock, which I was a little nervous about because I haven't laid in this in a long time. But so far so good. And a huge turkey just landed in a tree over there. I tried, there's no zoom on a GoPro, or else I would try and show you, but you'll never see it. And I'm literally sitting here like this, watching the sun go down. I have a fire right next to me. It's like slightly chilly out, but it's really, really nice. And I just, like, I don't understand how you could not like this. Like, does it truly get any better than this? I have a little tiny stream running near me. Like, there's a turkey over there. I'm full of hot dogs and campfire beer. I'm about to watch the sun go down. Like, this is what life's about. Literally nothing else matters. Like, the entire world right now is a beehive of all kinds of shit going on. And I'm just here in the woods. Literally nobody around. Nobody bothering me. Like, this is what life is about. Right here. Like, this is... Like, look at this view. This is fantastic. Man. Absolutely doesn't get any better than this. So I know that music is a pretty subjective thing, I should say. I went to a doctor's appointment this morning and therapy appointment uh, to work on my permanent adolescence, as my therapist puts it. And as I was driving home, I noticed a garage sale. Now, back in the day, garage sales were my absolute jam. I used to go to so many. Like, that's how I acquired 50% of my camping stuff, is old garage sales. And I came across this yard sale that had a bunch of vinyl records. And I have a decent-sized vinyl record collection. But music is so weird because everything... the majority of the people that I listen to are dead. And it's like a weird thing to me because I like both kinds of music, country and Western. So I bought 3 records today for $5. One was the Commodore's Greatest Hits, you know, Brick House, She's a Lady, like all that good stuff. I bought James Taylor's Mudslide Slim, which I just... you know, James Taylor is just classic. And then I bought Glenn Campbell Rhinestone Cowboy. So since this afternoon, I've had Rhinestone Cowboy stuck in my head because the first thing I did when I got home was put that record on and jam out to some mid-70s country. And of all the billions of people on Earth, I really can't imagine that a lot of people put on the vinyl record of Rhinestone Cowboy today and enjoyed it nearly as much as I did. I mean, it's classic. It's a fantastic song. It's just a fantastic album. I listened to both sides. Obviously, I was home alone. My kids were out playing with the neighbor. My wife was at work. I'm going to jam some Glenn Campbell on vinyl. And I really can't imagine that a lot of other people on this giant planet did that today. So, the only bad thing about what I'm doing right now is that I cannot reach my cooler for the second smoked beer that I have, and there's nobody here to hand it to me. That's my biggest problem in the world right now. So if that's my biggest problem, then I'm doing just fine. I'm not sure what time it is. The sun's been down for a while. It's probably like close to 9 o'clock. And got myself another German campfire beer. But I just decided to really freak myself out a little bit because I don't get weirded out in these situations when I'm by myself in the woods. But I grew up listening to a lot of late night talk radio because I barely slept when I was a kid. And my dad was an overnight trucker, and he told me about a guy named Art Bell who did a radio show all night, all over the country, from like this weird little place in the desert outside of Las Vegas. He used to call it the Kingdom of Nye. And he would do this show that would say, if you want to take a ride, call Art Bell at midnight in the desert. And Bell would talk about ghosts and UFOs and Bigfoot and all kinds of paranormal stuff. So I just decided to torture myself and listen to about a half hour of Art Bell talking about shadow people. And an episode I've heard a million times. It was like from the mid-90s. And I did it to myself, and now I'm all freaked out. And I built the fire up big because it was getting a little deep. Or I can't say deep, it's getting a little dark, and weirding myself out. I put my headlamp on, which I don't know about you, but flashlight light weirds me out to begin with. So I'm just sitting here thinking about shadow people, and the stars are coming out. It's a beautifully clear night, and this is exactly what I wanted. So anyway, ghosts are real. Now I'm all weirded out. Well, I just snored myself awake in my hammock. It's just about midnight, I'm gonna head into my little tent now. And ooh, like I'm right in front of the fire to get some light. Oh fuck. Okay. So I'm right in front of the fire because I bet you can't see me right now. Okay, let's go over here. Anyway, it's just about midnight. I'm gonna go crawl into bed. I have my mace and my air horn, so hopefully I won't need them. But if the next time you see me it is not daylight, then that means I have a coyote situation. So from this little neck of the woods in rural Hunterdon County, New Jersey, I bid you all an extremely good night. Good morning. Here's how my scene is on this bright, beautiful Sunday morning. It's about like 7:30, quarter to 8. I woke up around 6:30 and I hung out in this hammock in my sleeping bag and absolutely enjoyed the morning. No run-ins with coyotes last night. Once or twice I woke up and I definitely heard something around me, but it wasn't nearly heavy enough to be a coyote. It was probably a squirrel, some maybe even a deer, but everything sounds a lot bigger at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're in the middle of the woods. So, but that's it. I'm gonna clean up here, take some garbage out that I found here, and head back home. I just wanted to say, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. I know that there are a million, videos like this that you can watch, but I appreciate you watching this. If you like this kind of thing, I'm actually going to try and do this more often, especially now that I found this spot. Because it's right up the road from my house. It's literally 5 minutes up the road from my house. It's a cool spot. And I might try and do this a little more often, maybe here or, with different gear, stuff like that. Keep it interesting. But other than that, thank you. Thank you for watching. If you like it, please subscribe. And as always, plant your flag, get a little weird, and I promise you, you will thank yourself. Huge thanks to my wife for allowing me to indulge in this weird little hobby and passion of mine. It takes a lot of patience to deal with a dude like me. So, but enjoy your day, and always spend a little time in the woods because you'll gain a little perspective.